hell do you think you are?
I'm the professor.
I was not expecting to see you here. Thought you were, retired.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Hey everybody, it's Professor Fen back for another noob lesson for you all. Basically, this is Friday Night Magic with Professor Fen. Every Friday we sit down, we talk, I give you some tips, tricks, and other, philosophy ideas on how to be a better card gamer. And, this week we're talking about what's in the bag. So the bag in question is my gaming backpack. I actually got everything unloaded over here onto the desk. We can talk about it as we go through it, but I'm using my old LL Bean bag from high school, from middle school, from like 6th grade. I think I got this. So bag is like 30 years old. I've had this since I was about 13. Definitely good thing I unpacked everything out of it because this thing desperately needs a wash. I would recommend LL Bean, not just because I'm a maniac and not because they're not even a sponsor of this thing. It's just the fact that this bag has held up for 30 years as a backpack and has all the space I need to store all my stuff. Plus, it fits comfortably on my back. You can't go wrong. But if you just want to use your old backpack or find a backpack somewhere, I had one of my buddies actually used to use a hiking backpack. That thing was comfortable to be able to carry stuff, especially when we were going to like larger events. Had the back support and everything in it. Like, he had no problems with it, carrying around his stuff in that. But the whole reason why I wanted to talk to everybody today to tell you about how to pack and how to prepare to be able to go to tournaments with a gaming bag is because I had a friend of mine, let's call him Mr. Suitcase. Anytime we got together to play Magic, it felt like he was moving in because he would bring like all of his cards just to hang out and play, and he'd be bringing in like not just one, but like 2, 3, sometimes 4 of the 4-row card boxes, the big 4,000 counts. He'd bring in like a bunch of those and have stuff like, I'll do trades, I got commons and nobody wanted to trade with him for his commons and uncommons because they could just get them from the shop. Nobody really like enjoyed the whole fact that we had like a whole table that we had to like dedicate to his stuff because he was bringing everything out. He'd also bring all 36 of his decks, and it was just like, and his trades were just scattered throughout everything. It was just like, oh my god, dude. And I tried numerous times, but dude, you need to pare down your collection and you need to listen to me. But he wouldn't change his mind. It's just how he wanted to be. He wanted to be Mr. Suitcase, and it kind of annoyed everybody. Annoyed the shops we'd go to because it's like, dude, no, the real estate in here is our real estate. Don't bring your stuff in here. Don't tie up a whole table with the stuff because we got people in here that want to play. And it got to a point where it's like he'd leave his stuff out in the car, but he'd still bring in like way too many decks, and it was just like, dude, you don't need all that much stuff. And I think having a dedicated gaming backpack also helps out a lot of players like me. They're a little, absent-minded professor, where we forget stuff at home, and if you're like me and you got to drive a half hour to get to your tournament, because it's a half hour with traffic and everything, but it takes you a while to like turn around, come all the way back. And if you're going to someplace, if you're actually going like long distance, forgetting something is like the bane of all existence because you're basically like, oh my god, I can't even. I drove 4 hours, now I gotta bum a deck off my friend. What do I do? So having a dedicated gaming backpack keeps you from overextending your welcome into a gaming space. Also keeps you organized so you're not forgetting anything. So I want to talk to you today about what's the important stuff that I feel that everybody should be carrying in their gaming bag so you can be more prepared to be able to grab that sucker and just grab and go. If there's a bug out, there's a hurricane coming, you can just grab your gaming backpack and not worry about everything else. You got everything ready to go with you you're safe. So let's dive in and talk about what is the important stuff to put in your gaming backpack. We'll start off with number one, most important thing to put in your gaming backpack is your decks. So I like to always keep 3 decks of a format together at any one time. These are the 3 commander decks I got. They are the pre-con versions. This one is the Jund Landfall deck from Edge of Eternities. Haven't made any changes to that yet. This one is the Jeskai Proliferate +1/+1 counters and charge counters, so we can get our space station stationed up fast. And this one is the where is she? Yeah, this is the green, blue, red Timir Sahili Precon from Aether Drift. Actually found this at Target. Decided to be like, hey, you know, I need another commander deck in those colors, because I was thinking that what's his name, Ultra Magnus was these colors. I was wrong. He's actually Naya colors, so I was all like, oh shoot. But I can take these 2 decks, slam them together, and build either my Optimus Prime or my Ultra Magnus Transformers deck once I get done playing around with these ones, and I'm like, I want to try something different. So you gotta have your decks. If I was going to a Star Wars Unlimited tournament, I would be grabbing, you know, my girl Sabine Wren. I'd grab my Sabine Wren deck, bring that with me, and just have decks to be able to play with you. Next thing I keep in here, like I said, I also play Star Wars Unlimited, so I have my tokens for Star Wars Unlimited. It's a little hard to show these on camera, but I'll try my best. So basically they're damage counters, they're 1, 5, and 10s, and then I got some +1/+0, some +1/+1s, and other little tokens that I can use. Good thing is these are compatible with Star Wars. They lay flat, they're not dice, so if somebody bumps the table, like a friend of mine used to back in the day, he got super salty. He'd be throwing his fist down. When he lost the game, it would bump all the dice. We'd have to sit there and be like, okay, let's redo all the counting. So I like counters that stay flat on the table, easily readable, so that way if they get bumped, they're just like, oh yeah, I just slide that back over. I also got some MTG. These are steel, +1/+1, and on the back side, they're -1/-1 counters. Love these things. They're Citadel Black on Amazon. You can get them. They come with a little fancy little pouch for them. Perfect. I bought these when I was playing my Bear Force 1 deck, because you get a bunch of +1/+1 counters with the Queen of the Bears there. Then I also got I got some dice in here, but I usually use these just as roll-offs to keep track of a few things that I might not have counters for, but I try not to use the dice as much. But in here I do have my Planar Chaos dice from the Plane Chase Anthology box set. So a few little dice I like to keep, and it's a nice cool little tin that keeps everything in here nice and organized, so I don't have to go searching throughout the entire backpack for my counters and dice. And yeah, so you do need some dice, but yeah, in the draft, I also got my draft sleeves for Star Wars Unlimited in here. Then over in this one, I've got draft sleeve. I got 40 sleeves for drafting Magic, along with almost about 9 of each basic. I just got the full arts that I've pulled from all my cracker packs and drafting. I like to keep 10 of each basic in my draft kit. And the other thing that goes in my draft kit is my standard legal tokens. So my current set tokens. So any tokens I get from cracking packs, or people just leave around after the draft, or maybe I get from ordering stuff from like places like TCG Player, not TCG Player, ordering from CardKingdom.com. They always give you a nice little token to come in with those orders. So keeping some of the tokens for they're currently for the draft. Keep those in there. So I got tokens, I got sleeves, I got extra land basics, all good. Another thing I keep in here is pens and paper. Now, I like to keep my life total track on paper and stuff like that, so I can kind of go back through if I want to recap how the match went. I can keep track of, I can go back, I can look at my notes, who won game 1, who won game 2, who won game 3, if we went to game 3, how fast the life totals are changing, stuff like that. Sometimes I'll put like a little note beside of like, commander damage or whatever, but I like to keep it paper version, some sort of handwritten note to keep track of how the order went, just in case there's a discrepancy between me and my opponent. Like, I know my life total is supposed to be this, your life total is supposed to be this. It's like, no, we can go back through, we can correct, make sure the game stays the way it's supposed to be. And again, my buddy used to thump the table. If you're keeping track with dice, it could thump the table. You never know. Your cell phone might die in the middle of a match if you're keeping your life total track with your cell phone. Plus, if it's an emergency situation, you don't want to drain your battery, having it sitting there for 3 hours during the draft and drain that battery life, having the screen active the entire time. If you don't want to have to carry around a bunch of paper, you can easily get. Where'd it go? See, it's in my electronics recycling, because if you can see how bad that screen has been damaged over the years. This is one of the Ultimate Guard paperless notepads. Basically, you can just write on it with the stylus. The problem why I'm recycling this one is it's gotten scratches and dings. So if you do get one of these, and when I get my new one, I'm going to get a little case to put it into to protect it from getting damaged and scuffed up. But it's easy. You can write on it with a stylus. Stylus clips right into it. So you just write on it. You would be able to see this better if the screen wasn't so damaged, and then you press the button to get it to reset and clear. But this one is old, busted. It survived a long time. It basically got forgotten in my gaming backpack, and stuff was hitting up against it. And while I was playing Star Wars and other stuff, and it just kind of ruined the screen. So they're good. Just get a screen protector for it. Alright. And we've done the decks, we've done the draft kits. Next thing up I want to say is something to keep your tokens in for your actual decks. I have a hard case that is dedicated for Star Wars Unlimited tokens. So I've got a bunch of all the different tokens that game makes all in here. And I used to, back in the day, I'd get one of those 4-pocket binders. But I bought this for, now, it's just a 40-page little mini 1 card per page binder. And I thought it was really cute. Now I'm like, okay. So I usually put 6 cards per penny sleeve, and I can slide those into these side-loading pocket pages. So this holds 40. 40 times 6 is... 40 times 6 is 14... No, is 16... 24. So 240 tokens can go into this. Only 40 individual ones, but that's enough for my commander decks to be able to have a cool little, binder worth of tokens to bring with, and I don't have to, bring Big Mama token binder. This is on the 9 per page binders, and it's got my entire token collection for back in the day. But yeah, I had like every single token. I'd just be like, every once in a while I'd reorganize this thing. This is too huge. I do break this out with the cube because the old version of the cube used too many random tokens. So I think once I do get around to reorganizing this big box and making a new cube, I'm going to make that binder match this and get rid of some of that stuff that I don't need. and definitely get this all up and running so I can just bring my tokens that I need for my games. You don't need to bring, like, unless you're playing like that crazy the bunny generator deck, the one that plays like the noble hair that can make like 100 bunnies in one turn. You don't really need 100 of each token. Just 6 of each, and then you can use like some other ways of representing, like, oh, this is the number I've got tapped, and putting some of your little numbered tokens on it, or if you do some D10s or some other dice to keep track, you can get away with that. But what I'm saying is basically if your deck, your deck is going to need tokens, you need to bring some tokens with you and be able to put those tokens on the battlefield. I also like to bring extras of standard legal tokens because some people just forget to bring their tokens. So I have tokens to loan out to people. Next item in my gaming backpack that I like to keep in there is my playmat. I like to get one of these playmat tubes, and so everybody can tell which one's mine. I got one with Professor Fen MTG stickers on the end of this. The playmat that I've gotten here, this is my playmat for my first ever Grand Prix. This was the Grand Prix Toronto back in December of 2012 is when I got this. Yeah, it was a good time. I traded an Italian moat to a friend of mine, and it covered the whole trip. Looking back on it, I think it was worth it because it was the whole thing. Like, I didn't have to pay for gas. I didn't have to pay for. Well, we didn't get a hotel, but we were gonna get a hotel, and then I just covered my share of the gas fee. I think it even covered my entry. Even covered my entry fee. All I had to do is basically pay for food the entire trip. That was awesome. But speaking about trading for stuff, the last thing you're gonna probably want to bring is a trade binder. My gaming backpack is decked out for 2 different games. That's why it's big and heavy. But I got my trade binder for Star Wars Unlimited is here. I put on some of my own personal stickers on here so I can recognize my trade binder from across the room. Definitely tell you all to put some stickers and personalized stuff so you can tell at a glance. Yeah, this is all my Star Wars Unlimited, hyperspace, and foil and rare stuff is all in here. And then in my big MTG 4x3 binder, I got all my foils and rares and mythics are all organized in here. I got them separated by colors, easy to look through. But yeah, that is my everyday. Oh wait, I am forgetting 2 things. Not gaming related, but definitely essentials to bring. One of those is snacks, because you're gonna get hungry. Having some, I like to make sure that I get high protein snacks. So these are, my wife gets these from Melaleuca. They're basically like a barbecue corn chip, but they're not made from corn. They're actually just made from plant-based proteins. So the energy I get from these is long-term energy, not short-term, because when you're eating carbs, it gives you a little sugar spike, and then you start feeling good afterwards. So I definitely make sure to bring in the protein snacks, Slim Jims, energy bars, stuff like that, just so you got a long-term energy burning. And the other thing, I have to say it, a DO stick. In between rounds, freshen up. I know not a lot of places have the best AC in the world, so you can't really count on that, on putting a little speed stick under your arm and then calling it good when you head out the door. Sometimes you're like, maybe I gotta go use the bathroom. Maybe I'll grab this and I'll freshen up while I'm in there. It's definitely an idea, man, because nobody wants to sit us and the guy that smells all sweaty. And being a big guy myself, I'm definitely like, okay, I gotta make sure I bring this with me wherever I go. Yeah, that is my everyday carry. I will say about restocking this is, when a new set comes out, usually I pull the tokens that I've got in my draft box out. I'll sort those, organize them into a bigger binder, and rotate those. Also the same thing when the sleeves get old and busted, I'll have some backup sleeves on hand for doing some drafts. And, after I eat the snacks, I gotta put some more snacks in there. You know, everyone's, you don't know when the deodorant needs to get restocked. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, wait, other things, if you do have promotional material, such as your own YouTube channel QR code stickers, you definitely want to make sure you got these sitting in your gaming bag, so you can give those out to any of your opponents, either before or after the match, or people you're talking to. You can easily hand them some of your promotional swag. So you want to bring that into your gaming bag. And yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like I said, golden rule is have your trade binder, your tokens, your deck, and extra sleeves and extra cards you need for the land tokens you need for the deck to draft with. Make sure you have those. You're all set to play, and all of this fits into one bag. I can even got space still in there, so I can throw in one of my Star Wars Unlimited decks if I wanted to. Granted, I love these Star Wars Unlimited big deck boxes because they're so cool. They organize everything. You can put your tokens inside of it. It's just the whole thing of like, it is so much easier to grab a basic Ultra Pro, excuse me, or one of the Ultra Pro commander size ones. You can fit a lot more of these in a gaming bag than you can. Like, this thing takes up the same amount of space as like both of these together. It's huge, and I think it's overkill, but they look so cute on a shelf. So yeah, like I said, everything you got should probably live in there. Your trade binder, because when you come home, you're not doing any trades with anybody when you're home. So leave your trade binder in there. Leave your draft packages in there. Your notebook, your deodorant, your pens. Just keep it all stocked. Go through the night before. Make sure you got everything with your bag. I know some people will be working on a deck. If you get to the habit of like, okay, I worked on the deck, now I'm going to put the deck back in my gaming backpack. If you live in areas like New Orleans where you might have to bug out, easy to just grab the bag and go. And if you got your decks in there, that means the high parts of your collection are in there, so you're not going to lose out on too much. I do say have in a smaller bag is also nice because you can easily stash it underneath your chair while you're at events. You're not taking up a lot of space. Easy to just put it back, you know, a properly loaded, not weighted down backpack. You can just easily throw it over your shoulder, go outside, walk around with it. But yeah, no, you don't need to bring a huge duffel bag or tons of boxes into the shop just to play. Just deck, tokens, trades, notebook. You're good. And I'm good. And I'm going to say peace.